bring you session 4. So this is our fourth movement session together. I'm going to try to get over here on the correct side of the mic. See if I can get a quick sound check if anybody's on and you can hear me. You can give me a thumbs up in the chat, or a sounds all right in the chat, and or maybe the sound's not all right, and let me know that too. That's important. So you're going to get moving with you here in a minute. You need if you have a resistance band at home with an attachment point, going to work on some lunges today. And then we're going to also work on some tennis ball juggling. So if you have bean bags, tennis balls, actually like 2 or 3 towels, if you want to start with something that's going to be a little bit easier to toss and catch maybe because it won't drop quite as fast, you could start learning this with washcloths or a hand towel. Let's see. Right, Cindy says sounds good. Amanda says sounds good. Thank you. And so we're going to get moving. The first thing we're going to do is the tennis ball drill. So we're going to train our visual system a little bit, wake it up today. If you've been looking at a screen a lot, I think that happens more this year than previous years maybe for a lot of people. So a great way to, once they show you what we're doing, look away from the screen. We're going to get the eyes on the tennis ball, the hand towels, whatever you're using to do some toss and catch. So the first step, yes, I am teaching juggling like right off the bat, so get your coordination skills ready. We're gonna toss with one hand and then switch that bottom ball over to the other hand that just tossed it. So toss and catch. We're gonna start with 2, one going up and over, and then the second one you're just handing off. Okay, so go ahead and speed that up a little bit if you're comfortable with it. If you're not, that's okay, go slow. And if you're just using one ball and tossing and catching, you can go back and forth however you want to do that. Okay. If you're using 2, awesome work. I'll give you a second to start to kind of get in a rhythm with it, get a feel for it. If there are tennis balls, bean bags, or towels flying all over and you're missing a couple, that's okay. It's actually good. There's this thing called the deep practice model, and the goal in the deep practice model is A, really focus on what you're doing, but B, have a high failure rate, because you actually learn more from failing than you do from successes. If it's not challenging you, probably not going to learn quite as much or quite as fast. So the failure rate, the goal in the deep practice model is about 40%. So like 30 to 40% failure, where you're actually missing quite a few repetitions. Let's go the other way. So if you threw up and over with one hand, now do a little bit switching that, go in the other direction. Good. So really good visual warm up. We're warming up that hand-eye coordination. And again, getting the eyes focused on something. Hey Eric, how's it going?
You need a couple of keys.
Hang on, I'm doing a live video. Can I swing by later?
Yep.
For the doors here?
That's what you want, right?
For the employee entrance, like the key fobs. Yeah.
Until you get the fobs. Mike's gonna get the fobs.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
I think
but
that's.
You wanted 2 keys to get you in
Sure.
Until he gets you fobs.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll get those.
All right. Thank you, Eric.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. So we're going back juggling 2 ball or 2 towel or whatever you're using. And then if you're good with that, whether it's 1 or 2, and you do have a 3rd towel, I'm going to show you just quick how to bring that 3rd one in. So we're going to basically toss to the middle. You're going to start with the hand that's holding 2, needs to be the first to toss, because you got to release one of those and then release the other hand and start coming up and in. So for me, coming up and into the middle and releasing in the middle tends to work best. And if you're doing 3 for the first time, give yourself a lot of grace, because this took me quite a while to learn. Never really tried to start learning until with really high level of intent until this year. But it took a few months to get it down and to practice some different variations. So if you're using like a towel or something a little bit lighter. Balloons work great too. Start again with a lighter object that's going to give you some time to float and react. And so up and in, tossing and catching. And if you're still doing 2, that's awesome. If you're still doing 1, that's awesome. We're just gonna give you some ideas on how to warm up. So visually, coordination-wise, let's go ahead and keep one tennis ball if you have one, or another object. If you don't have an object, use your thumb. So we're gonna go into a lunge position and hold the object or your thumb out, and then keeping your eyes focused on it, we're gonna do some side-to-side VORs. So head shake right to left. You go at a pacing that works for you. It doesn't have to be quite this fast. Eventually, maybe you want to work up to that level of speed though, so doing these consistently over time is a really good thing for your inner ear, your vestibular system, your balance. So head side to side, nice. That other lunge position. Let's go to a side lunge and then head up and down. So we're going to do the nodding VOR. Eyes stay on target. Let's lunge the other way and then head up, head down. Good. And then we're going to do a little bit of diagonal as well. So let's go forward lunge again, and then we're going to go head or nose up to the right, down to the left. So think about your nose going up to the right, down to the left, but then the eyes are going to stay on that target. Good. Change your lunge position, and then head up to the left, down to the right. So change that diagonal, bringing your nose up and down on a diagonal line. Good. Awesome. Let's go to a little bit of bouncing. So we're going to bounce on ball of foot. Shake out any tension in the upper body. Let the arms relax. Deep breath in. Let your bouncing kind of drive that exhale. Nice. From there, let's go into some toe pulls. So you can hang onto a wall, stable object if you want. We're going to flip the foot and then gently set it down on the floor with the toenails curled under. So toenails facing down, little tuck in the pelvis, and then if you're comfortable with a little knee bend here too, we're going to increase the stretch over the top of the foot. Then push the ankle to the outside, pelvic tuck again, little dips in the knee, and same thing on the other foot. So curl, tuck the pelvis, little knee dip, get that stretch over the top of the foot. Toe pulls should start to feel really good if you do them consistently over time. Initially, like a hard floor, hard surface may not feel great on the foot, so you can either prop the foot up on a pillow or wear shoes and then also prop that shoe up on a pillow. Sometimes that'll help at first. So a wide base for the ankle tilt, so we're going to go to inside ankle tilt next. Let's get the wrist gliding at the same time. So inside ankle tilt while your wrist glides side to side. Ankle tilt to the inside on the other side. The whole leg should participate a little bit in that. And then wrist glides. Nice. All right, let's go to knee circle, elbow circle. So we'll stay in this side lunge position, knee circle, and then let's add elbow circles. So coming around, hands around the elbow in reverse direction. Good job. Sometimes I wish these were zoomed so I could see y'all doing the coordination work as well. But that's okay. So we're going to knee circle other side, and then elbow circle. And then reverse direction of the knee, reverse direction of the elbows. Way to go. Getting the joints warmed up, different ranges of motion. Let's move up into the hip. So I want you to hold on to something if you need to. So it's going to involve balance. Bring the knee up, out to the side. We're going to internally rotate or fight to get that foot up and knee down. And then we're going to drop the leg and come back up. So knee up, out to the side, internally rotate the hip out here and let the knees drop together. And then up, out to the side, internally rotate, knees drop together. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So knee up, out to the side, and internally rotate at that hip, and then pull the knees together. Knee up, out to the side, internal rotation, knees pull together. So a couple more. Good. Stay tall again. Good to hold on if you need to. All right, and then from there, let's go into a forward lunge again, and we're going to hip hula. So think about bringing the pelvis through that little bit of circle, tilting the pelvic bowl side to side, rotating it in space. Other way with the lunge, and then we'll hula again. And then let's move to side lunge again. So we're going to hold side lunge. Try to settle into it a little bit deeper, so kind of get a gentle inner thigh stretch, but keep it gentle. We'll stay there. Press the feet into the floor. Tuck the pelvis a little bit. So just establishing good connection to the ground, and then we'll start shoulder circles here. So out to the side with the arms, and we're going to shoulder circle through in reverse direction. So for me, thumbs are up right now. I just have a neutral position in the shoulder. Let's try tipping the thumbs down and then shoulder circle there too with some internal rotation. So whatever your comfortable pain-free range is for these, switch direction. That leg is starting to light up a little bit. It's a good thing. We're going to weight shift to the other side. Again, gentle pressure into a little bit of an inner thigh stretch. Tuck the pelvis, drive the feet down into the floor. Get that good foot connection. And then in this time with the shoulders, let's reach one arm forward, one arm up. And then we'll shoulder circle there. Again, for this one, thumbs up and have that neutral shoulder position. Let's keep the thumb up on the top arm and drop to thumb down on the one that's reaching forward, and then circle again there. Nice job. And then switch arms. So both thumbs up and then circle. Awesome work. Doing great. Legs are working, hopefully. And then we're going to go to thumb down on the forward arm, thumb up still on the top arm, reaching towards the ceiling, and then shoulder circle there as well. And sometimes what we learn about our bodies in doing these different rotations and positions is a specific side might need a little bit more work. So I just found out my left shoulder still needs more help on internal rotation. So just mental note, you can note that in a training journal, and then something to work on going forward. So from there, we're going to go into just a gentle low back stretch. So I want you to bend the knees slightly, maintain that knee bend while we go through these back circles. So we're going to tilt to the side, roll forward gently, come up to the other side, and then let's complete the circle on the back half. So we're going to actually hold the stomach, reach back, come to the other side, and that was a full circle. Let's try going the other direction. So we're going to go side, forward, rolling gently through the front. Other side, we're in that side bend now, and then angling back again, holding the stomach, around, other side, and then lengthen back up nice and tall towards the ceiling. So feeling pretty good, feeling warmed up. We're going to start out today with forward lunges. You can do these with or without a band, and we're going to work for a minute. So I'm just going to get a clock going for a minute. And with the band, just show you really quick how they look. Tutorial video went out, but in case you didn't get a chance to look at it yet, band's going to be around the waist. I'm attached low today just because I felt like anchoring to a kettlebell. You can attach up closer to waist height if you want to, so the height of that attachment could be a little bit different for you. And then we're lunging forward, working on decelerating. Oh, my kettlebell wants to come along. So decelerating as you plant that foot and going into the lunge. So ready, set, we're going to go for a minute, first round. And here we go. So alternating, you can go all one side. I'll let you know when we do hit that 30-second mark. So make sure that this is not going to come meet my feet. All right, so you guys keep going. And I'll let you know at 30 seconds if you're doing all one side. Otherwise, alternating right, left, right, left. And this may be an example here of what not to do. So if you have a kettlebell at home, even if it is a heavy one, it might not be the best anchor point. So we're going, that's 30 seconds. You can switch sides if you're doing all one leg. Otherwise, keep driving, alternating. You got this. Good. So tall posture into those lunges. And we got 10 seconds to go. Way to push. And 3, 2, 1. Nice, relax. All right, good. So from there, really quick, just change. This is anchored. And then we're gonna go into a bear crawl position today. So what you need to do is set up in bear crawl. And from bear crawl, we're gonna do, these are kind of fun. The progression I'll show you really quick. We can start with a leg lift and then some rotation, leg lift and rotation. So getting comfortable with that, lift the foot, swing it across the body, lift the foot, swing it across the body. That's kind of step one. So if you're working on that today, awesome. We're gonna do 10 of those on each side. If you're comfortable with it, we're gonna go to the next part of the progression, which is lifting the hand and then kicking that foot through. And we're gonna go 10 of these. So if you're going with these, here we go. 3, good, way to push. 4, 8, you got this, keep going. And so what's happening with the feet, just show you quick, as you pivot, lift the hand, this foot, as the base foot is gonna plant, and then you go into the kick. So you gotta plant the foot, and then kick through. And then come back to neutral. So 10 of those, whew, those will get your heart rate going. Awesome shoulder work. From there, we're going into V-jacks. So the V-jack, we're starting with a wide base. We're gonna reach hands down towards the floor. So from the shoulder to the hands, we're in a sense making the letter V, reaching down towards the floor. Then we're gonna hop up and come up to the letter I. So it's V at the bottom, I at the top, and we're going 15 of those. So ready, set, here we go. 2, 3, way to push. Maybe you started your set already. If so, don't let my count get you off. But 15 reps, you got this. Way to push through. And I think that's 15, so good job. Way to knock it out. Next one today, we're doing a forward backward skip. So we're gonna shoot for 2 minutes today. You got this. So because it's a little bit longer, more endurance focused, 2 minutes is a long time to do a max intensity skip. So don't try max effort. Try maybe like 50, 60%. So we're not pushing up as high or as far as you can, but focusing more on the endurance element, keeping your heart rate up. So ready, set, go. We're going 2 minutes on. You're gonna skip forward and then walk it back. Unless you feel really comfortable, confident with the skips, you could skip backwards as well. But skipping forward, driving out, making sure we're swinging the opposite arm as the knee drives up, and then walking it back. Good job. You guys are awesome. Keep pushing through. We're at 30 seconds already. Good. Let's see if you've got any questions, comments, skipping disagreements. Hopefully not. Doesn't look like it. So keep pushing. Here we go. Skipping forward and then walk it out. Backwards back. Hopefully you have your pedometer, your step tracker on today. I don't have mine on, so missed a day of tracking here. So 1 minute, you got this. Keep pushing through. Good. Or half a day, I should say. I guess I still got a lot of hours left in the day. Could track the afternoon. So walking back, skipping forward. You guys are awesome. Way to push. 45 seconds to go. You can do it. Nice. Way to breathe. 30 seconds. Here we go. Nice. So working the vestibular system going forward and then also going backward. great for things like cognitive function. We're actually seeing connection with the vestibular system and our autonomics, things like blood pressure, the respiratory system. Now they're finding connections to the vestibular system, so really pretty cool. And that's why we want to move in 3D, train in 3D. That's 2 minutes, take a break. Whew, so that's round one. There's not really an active recovery today. It's sort of just go, go, go. So give you a little bit of recovery time, grab a swig of water if you need it, and then we're gonna dive into second set with forward lunge. All right, and then, so forward lunge is when you're ready. We're gonna go 10 and 10. I'm sorry, we're gonna go for a minute. The bear crawl is 10 and 10. So ready, set, minute on the clock, here we go. So long, tall posture, good loading on that front leg as you step into the lunge. Nice job, you got this. And then make sure that you control on your way back. So if you are lunging away from the band attachment, want to make sure that we also decelerate going back and don't get slingshotted. So control as you come back up to standing, nice solid lunge, and then control coming back up to standing. Way to breathe through it. You got this, here we go, 20 seconds, keep pushing. Good job. All right, and we got 15 to go. You can do this. Bonus points if you're lunging and doing VORs. A lot of vestibular stimulus. All right, good. And that's a minute. Way to knock it out. Good. Round two's done for lunges. And let's go ahead and give you a quick reset. So if you have a tennis ball or two, if you're using a washcloth, something like that, let's go back to the two toss. So toss one and pass one. Let your breathing settle in a little bit, heart rate settle down. One thing that I didn't know about juggling prior to starting it and learning a little bit about it is juggling can actually be almost a mindfulness exercise. So if you get comfortable with a version of it, whether it's 2 balls, 1 ball, 3 balls, it can sort of be a 5 or 10 minute mindfulness practice where it can really help kind of get you into a focused, almost like a flow state where it can be calming actually. If you're new to it, sounds crazy, but once you get the pattern down, it can actually be kind of a calming, nice reset for the nervous system. So from there, we're gonna go into the bear crawl position. We're gonna do those kick throughs. So either lifting the foot, working on a rotation and keeping the hands down, or we're gonna kick through. So we're going up, plant the foot, kick through, and we're going 10 and 10. So it's 1, 2, way to go. If y'all get good at these, let me know, because we can also have more fun with them by making them reactive. So we can give you some auditory cueing on them and go like right kick, left kick, or maybe a visual cue, or maybe start to get really fancy and we do like a blue cone held up is right, a green cone is left, and add a little cognitive challenge too. So do let me know in the comments if you're able to do the bear crawl and then that kick through progression. And if you're feeling comfortable with it, maybe we'll incorporate them. I really like that as a core strengthening exercise. And then of course the reaction and the speed of processing is another great element to work on from a brain standpoint. So next one, VJAX. So 15 reps, let the heart rate settle a little bit, and then we're gonna go into that squat, wide base, and hands reach down, and then coming up, here we go. Shooting for 15. Almost there, you got this. 3 and 2 and 1. Way to push. Awesome. So V-Jack's awesome for working through the hips and getting the heart rate up. From there, give you a quick break. You can grab a swig of water, let the heart rate settle a little bit, and then we're going skips again. So forward, back, skipping, 2 minutes on the clock. Woo! V-Jacks will get your heart rate up. So good work on stamina, respiratory system. If you're nasal breathing right now, bonus points. And then 2 minutes on, ready, set. And we're gonna go skip forward and skip or walk back, up to you. Good job. Way to push through. Hopefully you got some sweat beading up a little bit. I know I do. Or if sweat beads are gross, I don't know. Maybe you're glistening a little bit. Way to push through today. Woo! Doing awesome. Good. 30 seconds in already. And if you're feeling comfortable with that forward skip pattern, you want to lean a little bit, add in a little bit of forward body lean, and maybe accelerate a little into it. Just make sure you have room to decelerate before there's a wall or something else that you don't want to run into. So if you do add a little forward lean, start to get comfortable with that. Make sure you have that room to decelerate and slow yourself down safely. So under a minute to go, you got this. Way to drive those knees up. Way to pull the toes up a little bit. So on this hip flexion side, or the knee that's driving up, work on pulling the toes up. Get ready for that next foot strike. Got 30 seconds to go. Woo! Way to push. You guys are awesome. Tough work. Keep breathing. Keep skipping. Love it. And 20 seconds left. Here we go. Way to finish strong here. All right, awesome. So 3, 2, 1, skip to my loo. All right, and from there, we're gonna do our third round today. So grab a little bit of water and give you a quick break here. See if there's questions, comments. All right, so we got some endorphins going. Hey, maybe that's directed at me. Hey, I hope it's for you too. All right, so yes, laughter's good, fun is good. Hopefully moving your body and getting endorphins going is a fun and joyful experience. Because if it is, you'll do more of it. And that's really where the results kick, and it becomes really kind of fantastic, because you're going to move more, you're going to burn more calories, and just by virtue of enjoying it and not hating it, you're going to probably get better results. So I hope you guys are have found that point in the past. Maybe you are now. If you're not yet, keep going, because it will get better if you keep doing it consistently. We're going to go for 1 minute forward lunges again. So if you guys are using a band, awesome. If it's body weight, awesome. And get a minute on the clock here. So thinking about maybe a little bit of tuck in the pelvis, so tailbone tuck as we get into the lunges this time. Just controlling the pelvis underneath the rib cage. Ready, set, and go. Good job. Woo. Keep breathing through these. You got this. Some nice forward lunges. And 30 seconds to go. You can do it. Last round. Last set, best set. Here we go. Good job. Keep pushing. Good. I hear that kettlebell moving behind me, so thankfully it's anchored and it's not flying through with the bench here. All right, so 10 seconds, way to push. Last set. Almost done with lunges. Hopefully you're feeling the ones from yesterday or Monday, whichever day you got to those eccentric. Whew. I think my legs are feeling it a little bit today. Good. From there, we're gonna go bear crawls. So that bear crawl kick through again. And 10 and 10. So when you're ready, we're gonna push those toes into the floor, push the palms into the floor, and then maybe you're working on that rotation. So foot lift, rotate that free leg across the body. Maybe you're kicking through. If so, lift the hand. Here we go. 2, or really 2. 10 each. You can do this. So keeping the shoulders away from the ears if you're working on either the rotation or the kick through. Oh man, and now I lost count because of cueing, so I think that's 10. Whew, way to knock them out. A little bit of rest, and then we're gonna go VJAX again. So working the shoulders through a nice full range of motion after we just did a lot of shoulder stabilization work on the floor. 15 reps, you got this. So last ones for VJAX. We're gonna go wide base to start, reaching in, and then hands up, making the letter I at the top, letter V at the bottom. You got this. You can step these in, or you can hop them in based on how it's feeling on your joints. Let's go 15. I think I'm there. Do a couple for good measure. All right, good. From there, let your heart rate settle a bit. Let's do one more reset. So grab your washcloths, bean bags, whatever you have handy. We'll do a little bit more of the either 2-ball, 1-ball, 3-ball, 3-towel, whatever you're working on. Juggling. Again, let that breathing calm down. Working on some good eye movement. Focusing in, switch directions. If you do have tennis balls at home, at the studio here we like to write letters on them. Letters are numbers with a permanent marker. And so if you have some at home and you want to throw a big letter or number on the ball, that can give you an additional way to do some brain stimulus and also really focus in on a specific spot on the ball. So as you throw, like I saw, an O, a T, an O, a T, an O, a pen, a O, a V, a heart, a T. So just some different ways to really make vision ball even more specific and a little more challenging. The last 2 minutes, we're gonna go skip forward, walk it back. Skip forward, walk it back. So 2 minutes on the clock, here we go. And then take care of some nerve glides. A little bit for upper, a little bit for lower today. Good. So skipping forward. Way to push into the floor. Driving those arms up. Whew. You got this. Way to go, way to go. All right, last minute and a half or so. Keep it up. Again, probably sub-maximal on the skipping today. Working more on that endurance component. Way to get the legs moving. Way to crush another session here. Good. Keeping the lungs healthy. Getting that heart rate up. Good. And we got 1 minute to go. Last minute, here we go. Good push through, you guys. Awesome. Tough work. Good job. Bonus points if you're skipping and catching a tennis ball. Hey. Way to finish this out. So 30 seconds. You got it. Last 20. Here we go. Good, last 8 seconds. Let's get one more skip. One more skip. Good. Hey, way to finish. Tough. So good solid 3 rounds. I'm gonna have you just walk forward back for another 30 seconds. We'll try that 2 in, 8 out breathing. So inhale for 2, exhale for 8. Just see how long it takes you to get there. So if you're already at 2-8 without straining, I would say your cardiorespiratory system is pretty awesome after skipping for 2 minutes. If it's taking you a couple cycles of that to get to 2-8, that's kind of more of what I would expect. And if it takes a few rounds, that's okay. We're going to still work on that, continue working on that cardiorespiratory conditioning element. And that's a good 30 seconds. So we'll cool down with some nerve glides. Let's do a few hand and foot motions too. So we're just going to glide the fingers down towards the wrist and then back out. And then reverse direction. Really quick, shake that out. Elbow circle. And reverse. Good. Let's bring the feet all the way together and then knee circle. Make sure straightening the legs all the way at the end of the circle. And coming forward and around. And then straight again, switch direction. Let's do a few full body rotations. We're just going to pivot. Lift the back foot if you want to. Kind of set it into that toe pull position. Gentle stretch on the top of the foot. Weight should be shifted over towards the foot that's planted flat on the floor. Good. So it's Wednesday, and if you're in the Twin Cities area, on Wednesday mornings now, at the Wellness Studio, we do have a chiropractor and acupuncturist. Phenomenal. She works typically out of her office in Shakopee, but Wednesday mornings she'll be over here. So if you are looking for one of those services and want to find out more about that, just let us know. She takes a lot of insurances. And I believe without insurance, it's something like $45 a visit, whether you're doing chiropractic or acupuncture, kind of the same rate. Keeps it simple. So sweet lady, we're excited about that. And we're gonna move into next a saphenous nerve glide. So we're gonna turn the back foot out, angle it about 45 degrees. We're then gonna tip up onto the arch of the foot. So pinky toe pulled up off the floor, and then big toe pressed down into the floor. We're gonna weight shift forward a little bit. Set the pelvis in a posterior tilt or tailbone tuck. And once we're there, sometimes you'll feel some tension on this back leg. If not yet, we can also add in a little bit of rotation away. So think about that rotation coming out of the first couple of lumbar vertebrae. So low back, top of the low back rotating away. And then ease out of that. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So switch to the lunge position, back foot's angled 45 degrees to the side. We're going to tip to press into the arch and big toe. Tuck the pelvis again, and then rotation away from that back leg. And you can also maybe like laterally tilt away a little bit if you're not feeling much of a stretch yet. So steps are weight shift forward, pelvic tuck, rotate away, and then spinal slump if you need a little bit more, or lateral bend away if you need a little more on the back leg. So that's a great nerve glide for medial knee pain or issues on the inside of the leg, whether it's pulls in the inner thigh or any pull over the inside or the front of the knee. Important nerve to keep healthy. And then we're gonna also go into musculocutaneous. So the bicep nerve, we're gonna go ahead and grab the thumbs. Just do both at the same time here. Pull the wrist forward and the front of the wrist there. So we're driving that forward and then keeping the wrist forward but pulling the hands back there. So we're doing that wrist glide forward but then gently pulling the arms back. You want to be at a 3 out of 10 intensity max for this. And I'm already there, so I don't need a head position change, but you might find that like gently tipping your head side to side could be something you add in if you need a little more stretch. We're going to go to the accessory nerve next, so the one for the upper traps, and this the biggest muscle in our neck helps rotate and flex the head to the side. So it's an important one to stabilize the head, and the brain lives up here obviously, so it's important to have good neck stability and kind of balance tone right to left. So we're gonna pull the shoulder back first, then tilt the head away from that side where the shoulder's back. We're gonna glide the head forward, call this the chicken. So head staying tilted away, but then gliding forward and then chin tuck. So we're gonna pull the chin to chest, and then we can do some shrugging over here on the shoulder that's pulled back. So shoulder blade and shoulder are back, and then a few shrugs. Should feel a gentle tension here, gentle as you pull the shoulder down. So shoulder back on the other side. We'll go head away from that side, glide the head forward, chin tuck, and then a few shrugs. And easing out of that, grab some water. Try to get like a good 8 to 16 ounces of water post session here. And if it's time of day to eat, go ahead and have a healthy meal. I look forward to seeing you in the next session. Thanks for moving with me.